joining us live right now to talk a little bit more about this NFC East weekend. Jeff Kerr, CBS Sports, covers the NFL, and he is with us now on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN. Jeff Kerr, what's up, my man?
Not much, Mike. Just on my way to D.C. for a bachelor party this weekend.
How about that?
Oh, there's not much that's going to beat the FanDuel
All
and the Sportsbook,
right.
but boy, that was pretty good, Jeff.
All right. I got a wedding to go to tomorrow. Not quite the same as the bachelor party, but all right. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about last night's that was a back-and-forth wild one there, but what did we find out about the Giants and the Washington football team in that game last night?
Well, I think Washington's going to be all right with Taylor Heineke at quarterback, but I didn't think they'd have as many issues as they did on the defensive side of the ball. It's, I figured, okay, the Chargers were a really good passing team, and we talked about this earlier this week, Mike. We thought, okay, the Chargers have Justin Herbert, they have Austin Eckler, they have Mike Williams, they have Keenan Allen. Yeah, they were going to throw off Washington no matter what, but you let Daniel Jones do that to you, that's a major problem, and the Giants are the most disciplined team in the history of football.
Yeah, and I know the Giants, I thought for the most part that I don't want to say they had a great performance off the offensive line, but I definitely was better than I anticipated. I thought that was going to be a total mismatch up front, didn't you?
Yeah, I tweeted early in the game how bad I thought their offensive line was, and pretty well. Daniel Jones had a clean pocket. He had plenty of time to throw the ball, made a lot of throws. That was the best I've seen their offensive line look in several years. That's where if you're a Giants fan, that's where you got to be frustrated. Your quarterback plays one of the best games of his career. Your offensive line plays your best game in years, and you still lose because of the miscues that they made and all the drama that's going on there. I thought the Giants would have all this drama. I didn't think their offensive line and quarterback would hold up, and this would happen.
Washington football team, I thought disappointing defensively, but they did put up 30 points last night. I mean, is this a team, is Washington a little better offensively? I mean, I guess Heineke, we didn't know enough about him, but are they better offensively than maybe we gave him credit for?
I think Heineke is a pretty good quarterback in the sense for what they're trying to do, and I feel like especially now with Washington's offensive line issues, I think Heineke, what he can do is he seems to have that no fear mentality. Like, okay, this is the way. I'm not supposed to be the starting quarterback. I think I deserve to be the starting quarterback, but I'm not supposed to be. So I'm going to take my chances, and if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. I go back to being number 2 quarterback. But with their offensive line issues, Mike, I honestly feel they can, at least with Heineke, he can buy some more time. I think that's what got Fitzpatrick injured in the first place, because he's more of a pocket quarterback, takes shots downfield. I feel like Heineke is really good again to check down, and he's really good at finding his pass-catching backs. Look how efficient J.D. McKissick was last night.
Yeah. All right, let's get a couple thoughts on the Eagles and Niners this weekend. And, how much do you think the injuries of the 49ers are going to play a role in this game?
I think it's going to be huge, and, I was kind of discussing this earlier this week, but I think the Eagles really got to take advantage of Drake Greenlaw being out. I mean, it's a shame he got hurt. I think he got injured on the interception return for a touchdown. But, with that, the other 49ers injuries, I got to fully see their injury report. I think Mosley's doubtful the last time I checked up, and I listened to Shanahan today. There's a couple other players in there. Obviously, Jason Verrett's out. But overall, I think what the Eagles need to do is get the ball to Miles Sanders, get the ball to Kenny Gainwell in space. And the other thing I think they need to do right now is just get the ball to those guys in the passing game. Just find a way to get the 49ers defense on skates, because they over-pursue a lot. And I think that's what's really going to help this team going forward.
Jeff, was Kenny Gainwell the X factor or the surprise for you coming out of that Eagles-Falcons game? Because I know there were a lot of people that were like, whoa, look at this guy.
Yeah, you know what, Pete? I was actually kind of shocked he played over Boston Scott. It didn't surprise me, but I was more shocked. I'm like, okay, Scott's going to be the 2, and Gainwell's going to be the 3. Well, I thought Kenny Gainwell would play. I didn't think he'd just take all of Boston Scott's offensive reps. So, yeah, I was kind of surprised at the impact he made. And, the fact that he he had a touchdown with ease. Really, the only bad play he made was, I don't even blame him for. I blame Nick Sirianni for keeping him in on that 4th and 2, trying to outsmart everybody.
Right.
But Miles Sanders should have been in there, but that's not Kenny Gainwell's fault.
Yeah, and not for nothing, the depth chart still lists Boston Scott as number 2 and Kenny Gainwell as number 3. I mean, that's the other thing you sit there and ask was that a scheme thing, like the Falcons are that bad, or was that something that they were just trying to pull the old surprise card out and say, okay, we showed you nothing in preseason, but here we go.
Yeah, and the thing is, you kind of had tape on Gainwell from the Jets game, from the Patriots game, from the Steelers game. But, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think, probably the Falcons are like, oh, we see this guy, Boston Scott, what he did against the Giants. It seems like, by the way, that's the only team Boston Scott can play well against is the New York Giants. So that'll be good later in the season. But overall, Kenny Gainwell, they really liked him coming out of Memphis. And I thought they got a steal with that 5th-round pick with him, and I figured he'd contribute at some point this season. I just didn't think it'd be week 1, and now that's something that Kyle Shanahan's really got to worry about this week.
And you were talking a minute ago about some of the injuries. We know about Verrett, and you talked about Greenlaw being nicked up at the will linebacker position. But my question is, do you think this is the week then that we actually see a deep vertical ball or two? Because last week I thought they really kind of tailored it to Jalen Hurts' specialty, right? I mean, he didn't really have to, chuck one, go for that Hail Mary all the way down the field, the deep ball, the long pass, whatever you want to call it, the home run, the ba-boom, right? Is this the week that you see that?
I think we will see a couple deep shots, and the one guy I can't pronounce his first name yet. I swear I'll know it by Sunday, but it's I think it's DeMondre Leonore from the 49ers quarterback. He only allowed 1 catch for 3 yards in that game. I think he's going to be on Devontae Smith. I wrote that in my preview for CBS Sports, and I think this is a real good opportunity for Devontae Smith to take advantage of him because, again, he was facing like Quinn Cephas and Amon St. Brown last week. He was only targeted, I think, 3 or 4 times. I mean, he legit was a shutdown corner last week, but Devontae Smith is a different animal. And in a way, Jalen Reagor is too. And I think the Eagles would be wise to test this kid. And, he's a 2021 5th-round rookie player. So, let's find out what this kid has. And I think the 49ers are going to have to find out what he has as well. So it's going to be a good matchup on Sunday.
Jeff Kerr, CBS Sports. The matchup I'm looking forward to, it's usually a skill position, but I want to see Mailata against Bosa. Handicap that one.
Oh, man, I can't wait for that one, Mike. And that's the other one I wrote about. And, again, Nick Bosa's a freak. He's going to get his, and I think Mailata is going to have a couple standstills as well. But what I think Mailata needs to do is make sure Bosa just doesn't beat him on that outside move. It doesn't he has to stay contained. He can't go chase Bosa. If you go chase Nick Bosa, I don't care how athletic you are, you're going to get beat by this guy. This guy is like Chase Young. He can chase down running backs. He can chase down the fastest players in the league. That's what Nick Bosa provides to that defense. And it's going to have to be the Nick Bosa show with, D Ford banged up, Eric Armstead banged up. You're going to need Nick Bosa to show up on Sunday. And what Jordan Mailata has to do is he has to keep his feet planted. He has to stay his ground. Cannot follow Nick Bosa around because if he does that, he's going to get beat.
Jeff Kerr, all right. We got Eagles and Niners. We've reached that point of the week where we are getting the picks. So give us your thoughts on how this game kind of goes. What's the pick for Eagles and Niners?
Well, for CBS, they did 49ers 27, Eagles 23. I think it's going to be a very close game. This is a game that back in May, I thought the Eagles could upset them. I still think the Eagles have an excellent chance to win this game, but I'm going to go with the 49ers in this one. I think it's going to be really close. It's going to be one of those where if the Eagles can stop the run, they will beat the 49ers. The problem is I thought they had problems against the run last week. So I'm going to go with the 49ers here. I think they're going to have tackling problems, and the 49ers are going to win a close one-possession game.
All right, we'll see it all unfold right here on 97.3 ESPN. The coverage starts at noon on the Eagles radio network with Merrill and Mike on the call at 1 o'clock. All right, Jeff Kerr, enjoy the bachelor party, man.
Oh, I can't wait. There's a 10-year revenge on golf tomorrow that my old college roommate's been trying to get on me since senior year, and I told him, I said, well, you're going to get it. So let's see here. I haven't golfed in a couple months, but I still got game.
There you go, fairways and greens. Go get them.
Well, good luck. And Jeff Kerr, of course, here on the Sports.
Right, Pete.
Jeff Kerr's appearance on the Sports Desk is brought to you by the expert solar team of New Jersey, EMT Solar and Roofing and Solar Guardians. Start your solar journey today. Learn more by visiting ESPNSolar.com.